Ms. Donna?
No, you can do it.
Okay. You can't be doing this.
Or you can do the invocation too.
Oh, I'm gonna go home. I'm standing up here sleeping. Can we stand for the pledge, please?
Join me in the pledge of peace. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this meeting. We ask that you lean on us and sit on us and help us to run this meeting in an orderly fashion that it may benefit our city and our residents of the city. These prayers we ask in your name. Amen.
Thank you.
Roll call. Kate,
Okay. Ms. Granberry,
present.
Mr. Dotson,
Present.
Mr. Irvin, Ms. Morency,
Present.
Ms. Barrier,
Present.
who am I missing?
Ms. Walker.
Ms. Freddie Walker. Do you know she's coming?
And I thought she was gonna be here, but I
So right now you have a quorum, I just don't know.
Frank.
And Frank Feinstein. Sorry, I didn't have the list in front of me.
Chris Irvin emailed me and said that he would not be able to attend today. He just been back into the country or back out of the country and number of things to do.
Okay, so we need approval for the minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from October 5th, 2021.
Ms. Donna had made a motion. Can we get a second?
I second that motion.
More than 2 years.
Okay, do we have any old business?
We did have a meeting in June 20th of 2022.
We did. We don't have minutes from that.
That should have been in your packet. No, it's not. It's October the 5th,
2021.
2021.
105 South Main Street, removal replacement only. 107 South Main Street, only. 3 Public Works, tile improvement. These are all.
So that was,
I don't think we had a meeting. I think we met with you, then, Ms.
was-
Donna, about the ornament.
Wasn't that the other grant?
that's a grant, but
Yeah, we met about the grant, but we didn't actually have a historical meeting.
so the 103 and 105, that's lightnings. So, I don't remember us meeting about that because he just took it down.
I'll have to go back through.
Okay,
And so we'll have to go back through. Chris wasn't here, and
okay.
if we have those minutes, we'll make sure we get
Yeah.
them to you.
Maybe there's a recording of them.
Yeah.
Michael can find that, but I looked through the minutes book, Carrie did, and was not able to find it. This was the last minutes that she
Okay.
was able to find. This was what you have in your packets,
Right,
the
Okay.
October 2021.
So at this time, we're gonna approve the minutes from October 2021
October 5th. Yeah.
until we can verify the regular meeting
Did you ever see those?
for June the 2022, which we haven't seen. So is there a motion to approve the October the
we already did that.
Oh, we just did that one, okay. And we have no all business?
Actually, the agenda reflects June 20th, 2022, so that's somehow,
And that's
my wires
what,
got crossed up.
well, that's what Philip has.
Yeah,
There was the last meeting. We just
I
haven't
didn't
figured out,
find
we
any
don't have the
minutes,
minutes
didn't
for
find
that.
any
Yeah,
minutes to that.
yeah.
Okay,
But October would have been after June.
that was
Is it-
2021.
Yeah,
21.
2022.
Oh, okay.
What you just approved is 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has been a while since we met. Okay. Hearing a person having business with the commission, certification of appropriateness for 205 North Main Street for removal and replacement of roof cedar planks with burgundy standing seam metal roof.
The applicant is in the audience, if you would like to ask questions. Mr. Frank Spencer?
Yes. Did anybody have any questions about the color?
It's not my my favorite color, but I don't think we have any colors that
No,
I don't think we have any colors in our design.
we just don't, no, we just.
But you did a little homework and you found that metal roofs were,
Yeah, I did look at the Department of the Interior and because I questioned whether metal roofs were appropriate for our oldest building, excuse me, in Mount Pleasant. And it did say that metal roofs were very prominent at that time. They didn't look exactly the same. The seams were different, but they said that they were appropriate for that time. So
Yeah, I mean, it's, and you're right, because that's what the regs say, and it's one of those places on a historic property that's, easier to replace. And the standing seam is a good choice for the roof. The only thing I read in there was the fact that try to stay as close to the original color. But I'm okay with the burgundy if that's, and I think the standing seam is a good choice for the house. The structure of the roof itself is not going to be changed, is it?
No, the structure's not going to be changed, and the reason we chose the color was it was the closest, our research showed, to some of the antebellum homes in the area that have a burgundy or a dark red roof, so we were trying to stay with something.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
and let the record show that was Mike Redding with Murray County Investments. It's hard to do minutes sometimes when they
Yeah.
don't know who's speaking.
And I think that was some of the things that we discussed when we said colors. We want to kind of stay within
Right, exactly.
in what we had.
I did not research the historic colors of roofs, so I can't tell you that, but I do know that.
No, I was talking about when we did our book on it. I went back and looked it up in depth. Then we were saying that we don't want a lime green roof. We want to stay within the historical kind of color.
I mean, I know that the roof that's on there right now is terrible, and it hasn't been on there that long, and it was done, but what type of roof is it now, Mike?
It's a cedar shaped
Yeah.
roof, and another driving force for us wanting to do the change was the availability of contractors that could even work on it.
Right.
And the durability of the cedar shaped roof. That was what prompted us to look at another material.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, those things are extremely difficult to maintain, and getting the skilled people to do that.
And I would rather see, a metal roof go on there than the rest of the building deteriorate.
Oh, I agree. And
Because
that's-
it's bad right now.
And that's exactly what,
It is in bad shape right now.
if nobody has any concerns, I'll make a motion that we accept the change that's presented. I think it's a good choice.
Second the motion.
All approved?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Vote.
All in favor?
Uh,
All opposed?
Not opposed.
You're opposed, so basically 4-0, the motion passes.
Correct.
Okay.
Do you have any new business?
New business, potentially, we need to elect a chair.
Oh,
Mr. Lundberg has left.
And potentially elect a vice chair also, that way if
I
the
say
chair
Chris
is.
Irwin.
There you go.
I think we have them right here, Chris and Frank.
Well,
We'd like to explain to our guests, we're a little bit disarray tonight because our chair has moved to Virginia and we haven't had a meeting in a while, so we're just sort of winging it tonight. So
Yeah.
we're usually a little bit better organized than what we are tonight, so,
We were just starting to get the swing of things, and then
yeah.
well, we
Can we,
well, we have to officially have them here.
right, exactly.
Yes.
So therefore, we would have to schedule another meeting.
I will email each member. We can schedule a meeting within the next month
Right.
appropriately. We should have one at least once a quarter at minimum. And at that point, I'll put in the email that we need to elect a chair and a vice chair.
Okay.
So
That'll work.
then at that point, once we nail down a date, we'll email a packet out whether we have something or not to vote on, but we'll have an agenda in it to primarily elect the chair and vice chair.
I wanted to bring something up. I think it would be really important for us to, there's a couple things that I know that downtown, getting businesses in and doing that type of stuff. And I know we need to do some research, but I don't think that our job here is just when we got the design guidelines and set up the HCC. I don't think that our job is done. We have parking problems downtown. We don't have parking problems. We have problems with the code. It's a city code and how many parking spaces for properties that we need, because there's just not that kind of parking downtown. And if you look at other towns around here, you look at Lawrenceburg, you look at Columbia, they do not have 20 parking spaces per building down there. So there's such a thing as shared parking and that type of thing. I think that's something that we really need to look into.
I'd like to have Corey here too. She
Yeah.
couldn't be here because she's at the full county commission meeting tonight, but maybe get some direction on exactly
Right.
what you're
And
talking
so
about.
I'd like to look at that. And I'd also like to look at a, what did I say it was? It's an entertainment, or a,
It's basically want to mirror what Columbia has done with their historic overlay. That is not, basically doesn't follow the rules of the rest of the area because it's its own business district. Maybe business district is what it is.
yeah, it's, for example, in, we have quite a number of churches downtown. If we enforce the distance between those churches, then almost none of our buildings can sell any kind of alcohol or have anything like that. So I'm thinking, what Columbia did is in their overlay, their distance from their churches, and it says right in their codes, it pertains to everything outside the downtown district. It doesn't pertain to the downtown district. So that type of thing, I think that is really important if we're going to have,
Business friendly.
if we're going to develop the downtown like we want to develop it, I think we need to look at those rules. And that, again, Corey needs to look at them. And
I know she has. I know it's been a while, but when we set up the next meeting, that can kind of be the priority, especially if there's nothing else on the agenda.
yeah, so I'd really like to meet over that. And also, when we established the HCC, we did it for us to become a certified local government.
Well, that's awesome stuff.
And to do that, we did that. But with that, there is a grant that they have to have someone come in and do our downtown or our design guidelines. So I would really like for us to look at that grant and have someone, because the design guidelines we have are not professional. I mean, I did them, I stole them and put them in and did that, but it was always with the knowledge that we were supposed to have someone come in and do the downtown thing.
Definitely tweak them.
So I'd like to look at us applying for that grant and see if we can get that grant to have a company come in and actually do our design guidelines for us. So we have professional design guidelines for downtown and for our, maybe for our historic neighborhoods too.
I definitely want to look into that. It just need to be historic downtown, all the historic districts and establishing those guidelines for sure.
And I don't know, Chris, we had somebody that was very committed to this at the state level. She had a baby and then she left. Somebody else took her place and then she left. I'd love to have whoever's in charge now back at our meeting too.
I think that Sarah, no,
McLeod.
yeah,
She would be very helpful.
yeah, she's
From
great.
South Central, yeah.
And so is it Sarah?
Sarah Elizabeth McLeod.
Yeah, Sarah Elizabeth McLeod.
Yeah.
She would, and I'm sure she would come and do it. And she's great. So I think that would be a good agenda for our next meeting, is to look at that grant and then have Corey look at the the overlay and what we need to do.
Kind of compare what Columbia's doing and where you all can have all the facts and make decisions based on that.
Yeah.
Have we talked about a date yet?
We have not.
Okay.
No.
Are we talking about having this meeting before we elect a new chair?
No, we could elect a chair.
We could make
and
it the first
then
thing on the
just-
agenda.
Yeah, and then just go into it. I think we can do that all together.
Yeah, it'd be good if we got a full quorum
Mm-hmm.
for that.
Sure.
Awnings. I read something in some of the minutes that some of the awnings being replaced, does that need the board's approval?
We gave approval to, if I remember correctly, we gave approval to, Robert.
Oh, it was all online, back and forth communication, wasn't a meeting.
Yeah, and so it was just an email because we didn't feel like we had to, meet every time somebody wanted to do it.
So I think that was, I found the minutes.
We did find a minute from the June
It
2000.
would probably reflect that. We did have, with Rodney was here, conversations about the zoning, that some things that the historical zoning text didn't give us the authority for him to do. But you guys are like, all right, let's talk about that, send it to us all in an email, and then if there's any issues, we can have a meeting or not. So I think, not sure Corey ever weighed in on that, if that's appropriate, but it's in those.
I think Corey did.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, yeah, this is not a big deal. Send it to you guys electronically, and then if you respond back, do we need to meet?
And I think we did that a couple times.
Did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
more than
Yeah, we
once.
did on a
And
couple
then,
of things, yeah.
since we did find these minutes, when they'll go to you for the next meeting for approval.
Okay, all
Okay.
right.
I was approached with two different awnings, the applicant, two different addresses. One's changed the awning for light kind, another is to change the awning color. Christie, would you mind stepping forward? and
Yeah,
speak on
please.
that? Just state your name.
Yeah, I'm Kristen Spencer with Murray County Investments. I have several awnings. We have several awnings that have either deteriorated or have just minor imperfections would prevent it from getting properly cleaned. Several of them, I'm not changing the color or the material or the look. I'm just simply replacing it with brand new, maintaining all of that. I had approached him if that needs to get approved for appropriateness. I didn't feel like it fell under that, but I just wanted to make sure before going with repairs.
Are you going to apply for the grant for those?
Yes.
Then you'll need a COA for those,
Okay.
for the grant.
And then, okay, perfect.
Yes,
That answers
yeah.
both questions then, because the other awning, it is currently a scalloped awning and striped, and I was gonna replace it with a brand new awning, different color, different material, and it would just be like a straight edge.
Anything
but if
that,
it's in the grant.
she's talking about I'm talking about the downtown improvement grant. And we are doing a second round right now with it. And as soon as we get those in, we're going to have, I think you were on the committee and you were on the committee, right? You remember that far back? Anyway, we'll have, I'll pull up who was on the committee and we'll go through those again. But I know that she has some awnings that she wants to do, but in order for us to give you those, you'll have to pull the permit. You'll need a permit and also the COA, so we can have that to come before, and it'll come before this group to approve it too.
Okay. Even exterior paint.
Yeah, if you're gonna paint anything that you're gonna do on those buildings, we'll bring before this just to get them.
Love it.
It sounds like we're gonna have a meeting relatively soon, so that should work.
Okay. That's good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have nothing.
Is there any additional discussion? If not, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Of course
That's my role. Second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned.